shared with the participants tonight for your answers. If you're joining us on one of our broadcast channels, we we encourage you to submit your questions using the link found at www.dallasisd.org/bond 2015 meetings. And again, that's dallasisd.org/bond 2015 meetings. There's a link there for you to share your comments and questions. And again, we will be checking in and monitoring those and asking and getting those questions and concerns answered. With no further ado, I do want to turn it over. We have two, not one this time, but two fantastic principals representing these two amazing schools. So first, we want to turn it over to Mr. Potter for Walnut Hill International Leadership Academy. Mr. Potter.
Good evening, everyone. We are absolutely thrilled with the progress that we're making here, especially in our design and our collaboration. We welcome you out to our meeting this evening.
Thank you so much, Mr. Potter. And next we have Ms. Massey, who is the principal of Thomas Jefferson High School. Ms. Massey.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. So glad that you're here to join us in the progress being made on both sides. It is very exciting, just as Philip said, and we're really anxious just to keep going.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Massey. And thank you, Principal Potter and Principal Massey, for everything you're doing and helping with educating our children in this feeder pattern. We're very excited for what you have going on and the things that are happening in your campuses. Next, we're very fortunate to have us joining today the trustee for this feeder pattern in district. Trustee Edwin Flores, Dr. Flores, Trustee Flores, if you would care to make remarks at this time.
Sure, I'll be glad to. Just excited to see the progress and can't wait to hear the presentation, and just to remind all our neighbors that we want to be a good neighbor. Let us know if there are any issues at the site or going on. I believe there are signs around the site where you can get called to get direct feedback and be able to get stuff dealt with. But we want to be a good neighbor, and we look forward to having these monthly meetings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Trustee Flores. We also want to know that we do have on board tonight our new head of bond and construction services, Brent Alfred. Mr. Alfred, would you care to make any remarks to the public today?
No, just wanted to introduce myself, Brent Alfred, Deputy Chief of Construction Services. Excited to be a part of this program. I think you guys have a great team, great trustee, great ED and principals here. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Jackie.
Thank you so much, sir. So we're talking about the great team that's making this happen for TJ and Walnut Hill. So let's start the meeting with the head of our team. So Mr. Sweat, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Jackie. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I know it's been a little bit since we had a community update, but here we are, and we plan on doing them quite frequently now that you actually see activities going out on site. All right, next slide, please. All right, so right now we're still talking with the city regarding permits and reviews of all the infrastructure and things like that. Everybody's probably seen a little bit of work going out on site. We're working hand in hand with the city as far as all the permitting that's going on for this campus. And the city is also still working on the traffic light that's supposed to be at Walnut Hill and Linnell Place. That one, I know the city has awarded it to an engineering and design firm, and they're in the process of going through their initial designs in coordination with the city itself for their standards. And our civil engineering firm has reached out to them and provided information so we can coordinate both the city's scope of work there as well as with ours. And having said that, I'll turn it over to Leo Lopez from VAI. He'll walk us through the overall site plan.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Leo. I'm the lead architect on the Walnut Hill International Leadership Academy. Formerly, we've been calling it Walnut Hill Pre-K-8, but they've made the name change, as you can see there on the screen. And this is just a brief overview, site plan showing the location of the two schools. So the new academy takes the place of the old Cary Middle School up on the upper left of the screen. And of course, we still have Thomas Jefferson High School on the lower right. As you can see, some of the buildings on the north were demolished, and so in the tornado, and so we're making an expansion to the building, as you can see on the north side of the building, and infilling some areas as well. As you can see on the left side of the screen, we have baseball fields, softball fields, soccer, and on the north we've got practice fields and football fields. Now I'm going to turn it over to Beck. They're going to show some progress on the construction. I think, Paul, were you going to share your screen?
Yeah, I think you need to stop sharing if you don't mind.
Oh, no problem. Sure.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me here. My name is Paul Kraus. I'm a senior superintendent with the Beck Group. There is a compliments phone number at the bottom of the screen there, so if anyone wants to call and tell us that we're doing a good job, feel free. I give you a quick oversight of what we have now. I'm going to play a drone video footage here soon, but this is what's happening behind the fence when you guys are driving around the neighborhood. We're putting in some temporary roads around the Walnut Hill International Leadership Academy. You can see the footprint for the building right there. My next slide shows the footprints of the actual buildings when we'll be finished with the job site. So this is some drone footage that we shot just last week on Wednesday. I'm not going to talk all over the video. I'll let everybody kind of take it in, but you can see there the footprint for the Walnut Hill International Leadership Academy going in. We're working on our temporary roads around the job site. So on the left of the screen, you'll see some shipping containers. That's going to be our laydown yard where a lot of our contractors will be supplying materials and equipment and shipping containers. That's going to eventually be the band practice area. We will be utilizing the existing parking lot. Right now we have some steel sitting in it from the previous construction before the tornado hit, but we'll be using that parking lot as an employee lot for all the workers on the job site to try to keep them from parking in the neighboring streets. Kind of in the middle of the screen now, you'll see there's two yellow pieces of equipment. That's where the new cafeteria and student dining area is going. We're currently getting that pad prepped and ready to go. So kind of in the middle of the screen where you see there's a bare concrete pad with a little bit of steel. So that was some of the construction started before the tornado. So we'll be picking up there in the coming months to continue and get that finished. In the middle there, in between the courtyard area, that's the new library that will be going in. That pad's ready to go. I think that's a pretty cool video. Gives everyone a good view of what the job site is looking like right now. Like I said, it's I know it's masked by the black fence around the outside, but you guys get a sneak peek inside now. I want to briefly talk about how we're setting up the site, just to give everyone an idea in the neighborhood of what we're planning. So I know this isn't ideal. but we're looking to utilize gate 1 and gate 6. So gate 1 is on Walnut Hill Lane and gate 6 is on Gooding Drive for right now. And some of the reasons why we need to use that routing for our trucks and deliveries right now is because we have a big detention system going in, which is going to go underneath the soccer field that will be eventually installed over by gate 2. So we also have a bunch of utilities that need to go in around the site. So until we get the majority of these utilities in, we have a temp road phase 2 that will be going in. And once we get all our utilities in, we will be looking to change over and utilize gate 1 and gate 2, which would be on Hedgeway. So then traffic would slow a little bit on Gooding. Now I can tell you, or I can't promise you, that we won't be driving on all 4 streets around the neighborhood. At times we will need to use gate 3 and gate 4, but we will be trying to limit the use on those. They won't be open every day. It'll be depending if we have a concrete pour or a different delivery, or if we need to shut down another gate. But primarily we are looking to use gate 1 and 6, I would say, till the end of this year. And then for next year, we should be able to use gate 1 and gate 2 as we continue construction. Here's a quick look at what we've been working on inside the building. So demo, this is on level 2 of the existing building. We've been going through, removing the lockers and ceilings and floorings coming out. Here's some of the old classrooms. A few of the walls are getting demolished. On the outside, all the windows are coming out. So we've been working on removing the windows and installing temporary windows on the existing building. And I'll just talk quickly about some of the upcoming schedule work we have. So over the next couple months, we're looking at finishing up our public work on Hedgeway, Killian, and Gooding Drives. We're hoping by the end of June, but that's depending on the city inspections and schedule. We had a little bit of a wait trying to get the valve crew out. For those of you who were affected by the water, thank you for your patience there, but we did have a little wait. So we'll kind of be at the city's mercy, depending on whether we can finish at the end of June. We plan on starting work on Walnut Hill late end of May, and we're still hoping to finish that by the end of June as well. So hopefully for summer, there won't be too much disruptions on the streets outside of the job site. On Walnut Hill International Leadership Academy, over the next couple months, we'll be working on foundations, so drilling piers and installing grade beams to get the building up out of the ground. So that will require concrete trucks every day. Just to let everybody know, we will have concrete trucks pretty much every day unless we get a little bit of rain, which hopefully we don't. We'll also have some floor slabs coming up. So we have 11 floor pours to fit in. That'll most likely be towards the middle to end of summer when we start the floor slab work. And then of course, we'll be working on the utility work around the buildings, which will be storm drain, sanitary, water and electric lines. Upcoming work around TJ High School, foundation work there too. So that'll be drilling piers, grade beams. Again, that'll be concrete trucks pretty much every day. We have some floor slabs to pour there. We have 12 of those to pour. So that would be, again, middle to late summer, we'll be starting that. We're going to continue on with demo and abatement of the existing structure. So we're hoping by the end of July, most of the interior is done. We will have some work on the roof abatement, and we'll be starting to install the new roofing on the existing building, as well as installing some new windows on the existing building. So that's kind of the activity you'll see over the next couple months. And I'll kind of reiterate what Trustee Flores said. Beck also wants to be good neighbors. We know it can be annoying. We know we can be dusty and we can be dirty, but we also want to make sure we do a good job on building the school and getting the students back into the school. So I'll apologize right now. Please feel free. My compliments number was on the first slide, so don't hesitate to give me a call, but we really do want to be good neighbors and make sure we keep the streets clean, the noise down, do what we're supposed to, and yeah, we want to be good neighbors. So thank you for having me.
All right, thank you, Paul.
This is Lee. I'm going to share the screen again. Can everybody see the screen?
You need to switch your other screen. Yeah.
Wrong screen, of course. Okay. Doing it again, sorry. Can you see the screen properly now?
Nope, still the same screen.
Okay. Now?
While Leo's working on making sure we get the proper screen up, I want to remind everyone, if you're joining us on Facebook live, you can submit your questions as comments on in the comment section. Any questions or comments that you have, or any thoughts you have about this project. If you're joining us on our broadcast feed, then please submit your questions on the link found at www.dallasisd.org/bond 2015 meetings. Again, that's dallasisd.org/bond 2015 meetings. And I think we have everything set now. So we can start with the next portion of the meeting. Thank you.
Sure, thank you. Again, I'm the lead architect on the Walnut Hill International Leadership Academy. On the screen are a couple of renderings you may have seen in the past. This is the main entrance on the top where the student drop-off will be. Well, actually, that's, yes. And then on the bottom, we have the bus drop-off, which has a little courtyard area. So this school serves 800 students and roughly 80 faculty, and it's roughly 125,000 square feet. And a brief overview, on the left side of the building, the left wing, serves the pre-K through first grade students, which are ages 3 to 6 or 7. And then towards the middle, we have our practice gym, which actually also serves as our storm shelter. And then just below that, we have our art rooms. And then in the middle of the building, on the south end, in light green is the library. And as you go further to the east, we have our administrative business areas and some science labs, special ed. And then towards the east end of the screen, we have our competition gym and locker area, and our performing arts as well, which contains dance, theater, band, choir. And one thing that's changed slightly since the last time you might have seen this is that we now have an opening between our competition gym and our cafeteria, so that way you can have large presentations serving it as the cafeteria or the gym. The second floor is very similar. The west side serves elementary students. And then as you go further to the east, you have your science labs. And then as you go at the east end, you've got your middle school. So that once again, this school is unique in that it's not just a pre-K school. It's not just an elementary school. It's not just a middle school. It's all of those. So technically, your children could go from pre-K all the way through 12th grade without ever leaving this campus, because they would just move on to Thomas Jefferson. Here are some renderings of the school. This is at the main lobby entrance. It's very colorful, very vivid color scheme, very contemporary as well. And here's also a few shots of the library, incorporating some softwood tones and lots of natural light. And now we move on to the Thomas Jefferson High School project. So that one serves 9th through 12th grade. It serves 2,200 students and roughly 200 faculty. There's roughly 170,000 square feet of existing that we're able to keep. Again, much of it was demolished in the tornado, and we're adding roughly 150,000 square feet of new addition for a total of 320,000 square feet. And it's divided in different regions. On the bottom left, we have our fine arts, which is the existing auditorium, which we're able to keep. And also you'll have your band, the modern band, dance just above that. That's the new addition that's sort of hatched in transparent mode. And as you go north to the orange area, that's where the old gym used to be, which is now like a wrestling area. And then the new athletics is up at the top of the screen. That large box you see at the very top is our main competition gym. which also serves as our storm shelter. And to the left of that is our lockers. As you go to the east, you'll see our new dining area, which includes not only a kitchen, but a culinary center for students to learn culinary skills. We also have CTE, JROTC, and the existing building is pretty much the same. We're just, renovating some of the classroom spaces and putting in new mechanical systems. We've expanded the art area slightly, and we're also adding a new library. Most of the expansion is on the first floor. The second floor is really just whatever was existing. We're keeping that the same. And much of the same spaces I just described still apply to the second floor. They're basically an extension of the first floor. There it is, more specifically. And here are some renderings. This is from the main entrance. We're incorporating some of the school colors into it. And similar to pre-K 8, we're trying to use as much natural light as possible, and also incorporating a contemporary palette, which uses a lot of vivid colors and soft wood tones as well. I believe this is the library. You'll notice we have a learning stair. We're incorporating a lot of collaborative spaces and 21st century learning in this school. So it's not going to be just your typical old-fashioned classrooms. We're sort of thinking outside the box on this one. And I think that might be the last slide, actually. I'll turn it back over to Joe.
All right, thank you, Leo. Can you go back to the overall site plan, please?
Sure, no problem.
And one of the people that's joining us is Mark Colby. He is our landscape architect from Pacheco Coke. Mark, if you want to give us a brief update on the landscaping that we're looking at implementing at this site, please.
Sure. Hello, everybody. As Joe said, my name is Mark Colby. I'm the senior landscape architect on the project. And we might as well start with the existing site and the existing vegetation that's out there. We do have to take down some existing trees. Some of those trees were damaged in a tornado, and we had a certified arborist come out from our office and take a look at them, and he recommended that they be removed because they were very close to the south side of the Thomas Jefferson High School along the entrance off Walnut Hill, and thought that they would probably eventually fail and become a safety hazard. So some of those were removed. We had to take other trees out that were in conflict with new construction. We did preserve some trees along the face of Thomas Jefferson along Walnut Hill. We also preserved some existing trees along Gooding Drive and along Killian Drive. We're also adding approximately 188 trees back to the site, new trees. So we're more than mitigating for the trees we've taken out. The foundation along the frontage of both schools, along the street frontage, there'll be screening of the parking lots from the street. So there'll be evergreen shrubs, and there'll also be a line of trees along there. So headlights will be screened, cars will be screened. That is a city requirement. We're also adding street trees where we can along all four sides of the project. We do have some conflicts along Hedgeway with the proposed detention area that's underground, so we can't put trees over that. But we've added trees at 50 feet on center around the entire perimeter of the site to conform to the city street tree requirement. We're also adding trees to interior parking lots to meet the city requirements. Also, we are providing foundation shrubs along the frontage of all schools that face streets. So we're providing approximately between shrubs and ground cover and ornamental grasses, probably about 3,000 to 4,000 new plants. And the rest of the site will be natural turf for all the play fields, the interior courtyards, near the art building and the new library. Those will be fairly simple with pedestrian paving and in natural turf or natural grass, and the same between the competition gym and the cafeteria area.
All right, thank you, Mark. Jackie, do we have any comments from the community?
And we have a lot of thumbs up so far. People are very excited about hearing about the progress. We don't have any direct questions, but I do see someone's hand up in the meeting is right now. So I'm sorry, who had their hand up? I saw a hand raised in the Zoom meeting.
Hi, Jackie.
Colin.
Colin, yes.
Wanted to know, and thank you very much for, especially for the landscaping plan. I'm trying to think about the area on Killian Drive and curious if there's an opportunity to add even further screening as far as like live shrubs to make more of a barrier. And the reason I bring it up is there has always been a persistent issue with trash that blows from the school property into the neighborhood. And if there was an opportunity to some way better capture that and keep it on site rather than in the neighborhood, we would appreciate that consideration.
Okay. I'm sure we've got some sort of control measures there, Colin, but I'll confirm with VAI and see what we have implemented.
Thank you.
That.
The plan looks very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for participating this evening. Oh, we do have a question coming from Facebook. What is the timeline for completion and for move-in?
Right now, both projects are slated to be completed around the end of 2022. Of course, there's a lot of factors that go into that, but that is our target date. And the move-in is for January of 2023.
Great. Again, I want to remind everyone, this is the updated construction meeting for the Bond 2015 and projects for at Thomas Jefferson High School and at Walnut Hill International Academy. If you are joining us on Facebook, please feel free to ask your questions as comments, or if you just want to share thoughts about the project, you can do so in the comments section. If you are joining us on our broadcast feed, you can submit your questions at the link found at www.dallasisd.org/Bond 2015 meetings. Again, that's dallasisd.org/Bond 2015 meetings. We are getting several people with a couple of hearts and a couple of thumbs up. So it seems like the project team, you're being well received in the community, and they're very, very excited about this particular project.
Thank you.
I do want to ask, we did have some technical difficulties with audio at the very beginning. So if you wouldn't mind just going over the presentation from the beginning. And before you do that, Trustee Flores actually has a question he wants to ask.
So I actually don't have a question. I just want to make two comments. First of all, I want to thank Beck for coming on board and taking this project over. Everybody knows Beck in town. You see their signs all over the place, and they do fantastic work. And we're just so pleased that we're working with you on this, K-12 campus. And secondly, I want to thank my fellow trustees for supporting the additional money that's required to add the detention pond and a bunch of new requirements the city put on us, but also to expand the opportunities for our students. Those of you who know, we had to bring this back for a vote to add close to $30 million for this project. And those of you who were there at the meeting know that the trustees were very supportive and voted unanimously to add the money to this project. And I'm just really grateful to my fellow trustees for supporting our kids, understanding what happened at this site with the tornado, and knowing that we're going to have a great facility for our kiddos. So I'm just wanted to say that publicly, that I did at the time as well, but I wanted to do so to the community because it really is a fantastic opportunity to bring our facilities, to the highest standards available in town. So thank you to my fellow trustees.
And thank you, Trustee Flores. If we're ready, if we could begin again, we had some people who joined us late. We also had a little bit of audio difficulty at the very beginning. So if we could just run through the presentation information again to make sure everyone online heard the entire update. Thank you.
Yes, of course. So a quick status update for both projects. We're still in discussions with the city. We have some permits that have allowed us to do work out on site, and we are still, like I said, in negotiations with the city and discussions regarding other permits that will allow us to keep moving forward on both projects right now. Another update we have is, I know a lot of interest has been, a lot of questions about the traffic light at Walnut Hill and Linnell Place. Last meeting we had with the city, they have issued it to an engineering firm to do the design, and they're moving forward with that. We have also reached out to them. Our civil engineering firm has reached out to make sure we begin proper coordination to ensure that everything matches up by the time we're done, and we have a great finished product. The timeline, for the traffic light, I believe it is the one for Walnut Hill and Linnell Place, as well as Killian and Midway, I believe is the other light that got taken out by the tornado over by the old Walnut Hill Elementary School. Those are both on similar timelines, which should be complete approximately around August of 2022, as the city's going through their process. Next slide, please. All right, so on our overall site plan, nothing has really changed versus from the last couple of community meetings we've had. Some fine tuning. As you can see, we have the Walnut Hill International Leadership Academy in the old location of the Cary Middle School. We have just headed south of the Leadership Academy. We have the soccer field for that. We have student parking, and we have baseball field, softball field, as well as tennis facilities. Moving over to the existing TJ High School, we have the renovated spaces shown in gray, or in a light gray, and then in the orange yellowish color, we have all the new structures that will be provided once the project's complete. And just north of that, we have staff parking. We're in the area, it's in the area that used to be the old staff parking, just a little modification to it. The existing football field remains in its original location. And that one there's a lot of information regarding that football field, because the NFL Association and Jerry Jones Foundation donated funding for that football field to be replaced with artificial turf. So that's something that's in progress. That turf will actually be going in place, I want to say, the latter half of 2022. With some of the discussions we've had with them, as well as with Beck and their schedules. And then we have the natural turf or grass band practice field just to the west of the existing football field. All right, next slide. All right, I'll go ahead and turn it back over to Paul so he can do his introduction. Paul Kraus is the Senior Superintendent for Beck.
Might be on mute.
Here we go. Sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. Thanks, Joe. My name's Paul Kraus. Thank you for everyone having me. I am a Senior Superintendent with Beck. There's my phone number at the bottom there. A couple of you guys messaged me. No complaints, please, just compliments. I'm just joking. Just let us know if there's any issues, and we'll try and help resolve whatever we can. Here's a quick overview of the job site now. So this is what's behind the black screen that everyone is driving around. We are currently installing some temporary roads around the Walnut Hill International Leadership Academy. And here is a slide that shows the footprints of both of the buildings when they'll be complete on the campus. And I have a quick drone video to show you. I said before I wouldn't talk all over it, and I won't on this one. I'll just let everyone take this in and point out a few spots as we move around the job. So in the middle of the screen is the footprint of the building for the Walnut Hill International Leadership Academy. We're ready to go. Just we're waiting on that permit so we can start drilling piers and get our foundation work going.
There was a question about the detention pond, just to define what it is. And essentially, it's basically to collect rainwater and disperse it at a slower pace so that we don't have runoff. And so that's what's incorporated into the new design. Actually, it's not a detention pond, it's a detention system. Isn't that correct, Paul? Where it's underneath the ground, you don't even see it.
Correct. Yes, it'll be buried and the soccer field will end up over top of it, so you won't even know it's there. It's basically a whole lot of pipes underground that will help disperse the rainwater slowly into the city storm. So in the middle of the screen, where the two yellow pieces of equipment are, that's where the new cafeteria and student dining is. We're working right now to get that pad ready to go so we can get the foundation work started there in the coming weeks. So in the middle of the two courtyards, there's the lighted gray or brownie color. That's where the new library is going. And then we'll be picking up where the additions had to stop because of the tornado back in 2019. So we'll be picking up and completing that work as well. I think this is a pretty cool video, just a quick overview. This was shot last Wednesday. So here's a quick overview of how we are setting up our sites. And I think I said before that it's not ideal for the neighborhood that we will be using Gooding Drive, but I'll work through some reasons here over the next couple of slides as why we need to set the job up this way. So we will primarily be utilizing Gate 1 off of Walnut Hill Lane. And circling traffic out Gate 6, or we'll be coming in Gate 6 and out Gate 1. From time to time, we will be opening up Gate 2, 3, or 4, depending on what we have and what other entrances may be closed, depending on if there's work there. A couple of the reasons why we need to use those gates right now is there's the footprint of the detention system, which is a rather large excavation, and it's fairly deep. It's almost 20 feet deep. So by the time we lay that back, it's a very big hole in the ground. Plus we have a lot of utilities that also need to go in around the site. So until we get these utilities in, which we are hoping by the end of the year, we would install a second temporary road, which is our phase 2 road. And that would open up Gate 2 for us to be able to come in Gate 1 and out Gate 2, or in Gate 2 and out of Gate 1, which would mean we would limit our traffic on Gooding Drive. Then we would kind of only use that as necessary. Here's a quick look at some of the demolition work that we are doing inside the building. This is on level 2, the existing building. Here's some of the classrooms that we've been working through, doing some demolition. On the exterior, we've been removing windows and also installing some temporary windows. I'll talk briefly about some upcoming schedule work. So the public work that we're working on right now, we have been working on Hedgeway, Killian, and Gooding drives, and we're hoping to finish that up by the end of June this year. We're also looking to start work on Walnut Hill Lane by the end of May, and we want to wrap that up by the end of June too. But it is pending the city inspections and schedule. So those that were affected by the water shut off, I know that was delayed a little bit, but that was all in the city's hands. So again, us finishing by the end of June will be dependent upon the city and them helping us out and getting the inspections complete. Upcoming work on Walnut Hill International Leadership Academy. Once we get this permit, we'll be going to town on drilling piers and grade beams and getting the building coming up out of the ground. It will mean we'll have concrete trucks every day to pour the piers and the foundations. And after that, we'll have some floor slabs. So we have 11 pours or 11 sections of floors that we need to pour for that building, as well as we'll be installing utility work around the building, which is the storm drains, the sanitary lines, the electric and the water lines. The same will be happening on TJ, so foundation work, drilling piers, getting concrete trucks every day, floor slabs. We have 12 pours over at TJ. Utility work will also be going on. We'll also be on the existing building working on demo and abatement. That should be working through the end of July for the interior. Then we'll be working on some of the roofing. There's abatement to be done on the roof, the existing roof, and then new roof will be following right behind it to keep the building dry. And we'll also be installing new windows in the existing building. And then lastly, we want to reiterate what Trustee Flores spoke about earlier. We want to be good neighbors too. We know construction is messy and it's noisy. We want to clean up after ourselves. We have meetings weekly where we talk to all our contractors here and we reiterate not to drive through the neighborhood. We really don't want delivery trucks going through the neighborhood. We send out logistics plans like we showed you earlier and ask these deliveries to come in gate 1 or out gate 6. But we can't control everybody, so I can't guarantee there won't be a rogue truck that drives through the neighborhood. But we do talk about it weekly. With everyone about not just driving through the neighborhood, but being good neighbors. So thank you for having me, and I look forward to sharing some progress with you guys in another couple months.
Thank you, Paul. Paul failed to mention one of the things that they have done while we're doing utility work out there on Hedgeway and Killian, working around the site is his team has gone and talked with the neighbors that have been impacted and coordinated with them, or if the house is under construction, they've coordinated with the contractors there to make sure everything's good, and just to be a good neighbor and make sure that those people impacted by our utility work are up to date with all the information they need, and we keep them abreast of anything that's happening.
All right, well, I'll go on to the next part. My name is Leo Lopez with VAI. I'm the Senior Project Architect on the Walnut Hill International Leadership Academy, formerly known as Dallas ISD PK8. It serves pre-K through 8th grade. In the top rendering, you can see the parent drop-off, which is on the, I believe, the north side of the campus. And on the south side of the campus, we have the bus drop-off. You can see there's a lot of enhanced landscaping features. It's a very, very playful, interactive space. And we're also incorporating trellises, just for nice outdoor learning areas. And the way the school is broken up, we basically have pre-K through elementary, typically on the west side of the building, and older students on the east side of the building. So more specifically, level 1 west side is pre-K through 1st grade in the dark green color. And as you move further east, you see the practice gym, which also serves as the school storm shelter. And just south of that, you see the art rooms. In the middle of the building is the library. There's a lot of natural light coming through that. It's surrounded by glass on all sides. And then the pink area, the top middle, is the administrative area, the main entrance, the offices, and so forth. And just south of that, we have special ed, followed by a middle school science lab, the 6th grade classrooms, And then the east side of the building is primarily performing arts and athletics. So the two light green areas at the top northeast of the corner are band hall, dance, theater, choir, some of them spaces combined. And then just south of that, we have a competition gym. And then just west of that is our dining area, the cafeteria. And for those of you who might have attended last time, you'll notice that there's some steps showing up on that stage on both sides. Well, that's because now we're going to open up the stage to either side, so you can give smaller presentations in the cafeteria and larger presentations or plays, things like that, to the gym. On the second floor, it's still a carryover the first floor. So the second floor west is primarily the rest of your elementary school. So it'd be a second grade through fifth grade, followed by additional art classrooms, science. And in the middle of the building is primarily your sixth, seventh, and eighth grade classrooms. Here's some interior renderings. This one's primarily of the main entrance. It runs north and south, very colorful, lots of natural light, lots of contemporary materials, and lots of wood tones kind of soften the look. And here's the library. Like I said, it's tons of natural light just spilling off from all sides. It's a very pleasing space to be in. And now I'll speak about the Thomas Jefferson High School project. At the top of the screen is the main entrance, which is on Walnut Hill. And then at the bottom of the screen is your bus drop-off area. On the far west is the dining area. And there's this huge overhanging canopy, which leads to the gymnasium, the competition gym. So this school serves 2,200 students. I'm sorry, yes, that's right, with 200 faculty. Half of the school was demolished in the tornado. Well, some of it had to be demolished because it wasn't salvageable. So there's roughly 170,000 square feet of existing with 150,000 square feet of new, as seen in the lighter hatched areas, for a total of roughly 320 or so thousand square feet of total expansion and renovation. So I'll start at the bottom left. We have our existing auditorium, which was built in the 1950s. We were able to save that. And just north of that is the fine arts. So all the fine arts, performing arts areas are together. And just east of that is your visual art. And then to the orange area up north is the old competition gym, which is now going to be an auxiliary gym and wrestling. And then just north of that is our new athletic expansion, which contains the competition gym, which also serves as the school storm shelter. And then lots of locker spaces and mini restrooms to serve all the different types of athletics that we have. And going across the courtyard, you'll see the new dining and culinary, CTE and JROTC. And then the darker colored areas are the existing areas that have been renovated. With a little bit of infill there, you see the library is brand new and it's going to be connecting the two wings of the existing building. I guess it would have helped if I showed that slide while I was talking about it. All right, now this is the second floor, which is mostly a carryover of the first. Much of the renovation takes place, much of the entire school's population takes place on the first floor. The second floor is primarily what was formerly existing. We just kept it as it was generally. And it's a very similar palette of materials to the Walnut Hill International Leadership Academy. And it incorporates a lot of contemporary finishes and wood tones and cool colors, very vivid experience. And then we see some 21st century learning here with the learning stair at the far end and very colorful renderings. I think that's all the slides that are on here. I'll go back to the site plan.
Jackie, have we received any more questions?
Actually, yes, we have. We've had a couple of comments on Facebook. Several people are commenting how much they love the plan and they're very supportive of the plan. They're thanking for the work that's being done. We do have a question. They're asking about the work being done in Walnut, the access from Walnut Hill Lane And if you could kind of put them in reference, they're confusing the two sites of the old Walnut Hill School and the current location. So if we can kind of clarify that for everyone, exactly where Walnut Hill International Academy is being built in this relationship to TJ and the old Walnut Hill site.
Sure, I can cover that. So basically on the screen you see here, on the upper left is the Walnut Hill International Leadership Academy, and it almost replaces one for one the exact footprint of the old Terry Middle School. And the TJ High School remains exactly as it was. It just expands out a little bit to the north. And the two schools almost touch each other by, almost 100 yards or so. And that's basically how it's laid out. Walnut Hill International Leadership Academy is primarily entered through Killian Drive. The parent drop-off is at the far north. Bus drop-off is down south. And then when you're looking at the TJ High School, it's kind of the inverse. The bus drop-off is on the north. So basically that lane running down east and west is your bus drop-off for both schools. And then I think your parent drop-off is at the south end by Walnut Hill, if I'm not mistaken, the main entrance.
Leo, go to the cover page.
Yeah,
Sure.
just to follow up a little bit on what Leo mentioned, basically Principal Potter's old home on Midway and Killian will be moving to the new Walnut Hill International Leadership Academy. And all his staff will be there. And then the old Walnut Hill Elementary is being turned into a, I want to say, Career Institute.
Yes, the Career Institute North.
Correct. Mm-hmm. So completely different functions now for those campuses. Hopefully that helps answer the question. But as Ola mentioned, to bring up the first slide, the old Walnut Hill Elementary School is in the bottom left corner of your screen, the one with the blue tarps right there in the corner in the parking lot. And then you can see in the background of the image, the upper right-hand corner, you see Thomas Jefferson with the old Cary building over there on the far end.
Great. I hope that answers the questions and let everyone kind of, I know sometimes it's difficult to remember how things are aligned, especially with the damage that we suffered during the tornado, but that gives a better view. So if you are joining us, we are coming to the end of tonight's meeting. We want to thank everyone for joining us today. You can, of course, keep track of this and all of the Bond 2015 projects at our website at dallasisd.org/Bond 2015. So again, that's www.dallasisd.org/Bond 2015. And we have up-to-date information about what's going on at both Thomas Jefferson High School and Walnut Hill International Leadership Academy, as well as all of our Bond 2015 projects. As we wrap up tonight, we want to make sure that we again go to our trustee for any closing remarks he may have. Trustee Flores.
Sure. I just want to thank the team for putting this presentation together. And, very grateful to have the team on board and being very, very conscientious about being a good neighbor. And we really appreciate that. And I also finally want to brag on now Dr. Potter, who received his PhD from SMU, just the last defended in the last week or so. So congratulations, Dr. Potter.
Thank you, sir.
And with that, Dr. Potter, if you would like to give any closing remarks to the community.
No, again, we're just really grateful for your collaboration and continued support. I think it's really important to bring everyone's voice into this, and I'm just really excited about the work that we're doing to bring this forward into reality. Thank you all so much.
Okay, Dr. Potter, one quick question. Aren't you accepting, can people start enrolling for pre-K and early childhood learning at your campus?
Absolutely. Choose Dallas ISD. You can visit that. We are taking any kid that we can get. We're so happy and excited to welcome families. We're still thriving over at our Royal Lane location right now. And we encourage you to reach out. We'd be happy to discuss opportunities that we have.
Wonderful. So don't forget, now's the time to enroll for early learning, and you can visit dallasisd.org/choose Dallas ISD. and to get more information about what's going on and to actually enroll your student. With that, Principal Massey, would you like to make any closing remarks?
Just want to wish everybody a really good night and thank you for supporting all the way through from the tornado to now and beyond. We appreciate you so much.
Okay, with that, we're going to close out tonight's meeting, and remember to visit dallasisd.org/bond 2015 for the latest information on this and other Bond 2015 projects. Thanks so much and have a wonderful evening, everyone. Good night.